Thank you. It's almost 20 years since John Reed said the Home Office is not fit for purpose. Whilst it's a great idea to have a single person accountable for particular areas, such as asylum accommodation, have you any thoughts why it's taken 20 years for such a radical idea to actually emerge in the Home Office?
Well, the first thing to say is, as I mentioned earlier, the department it does face a constant series of changing threats. I mean, some of the things we do now, for example, on drones, there wouldn't have been a team doing that maybe 5 years ago or 10 years ago. So 20 years ago, when that phrase was used, there was a whole different reason for it being used and a different focus. There was a lean into counter-terrorism at the time, for example. I was working in Department for Constitutional Affairs that became the Ministry of Justice at the time. The question, I think, is the job of the Permanent Secretary is to ensure that the department is in the best possible place to deliver what their Home Secretary requires of them. It's my judgment that that means one of the things I've got to do, of many, is to ensure we have clearer accountability. I also want to bring policy and operations closer together. It's another example of where you bring the levers together under one outcome. There are other ways you can structure departments, but it's my judgment that this is the correct way to do it.
You've not really answered my question, though. It's 20 years since it's decided things are going badly wrong. You're now saying there should be a single person responsible for particular issues, such as previously there were different issues. But it's always been the same problem, that there will be big issues. I'm asking you to reflect. It's not you weren't there for these 20 years. Why is it taking the Home Office so long to come to such an obvious conclusion that it needs someone with responsibility?
Well, I think that the first thing to say is at different times the Permanent Secretary will focus on different things. So, for example, I know my predecessor who started in COVID was very focused at the start on implementing the recommendations of the Windrush Review. So there are different reviews that happen, there are things that happen, different permanent secretaries will take a view on how best to organise the department to deliver. I'm not suggesting this is the only solution, I'm just saying for my money right now, this is the best way that I can ensure we're delivering. Others may have taken a different view 20 years ago about the best way to reorient the department. Sometimes people think departments, one of the ways to break the silos is to organise in more of a matrix approach, to have, horizontals and verticals and things. That's a perfectly reasonable thing that people might have wanted to do in the past. I'm just saying I want to be clear about accountability.